Hello, KZOOMers.
Hey, hallelujah.
We're going to hallelujah a little bit more, but I wanted to just say something about this practice. And Tuesday we had the launch, the official launch of the Flavors of Praise app.
Yay.
And again, I want to thank everybody who was there and who contributed to it. And to say that this practice really works, I put it to a test.
Field test.
Yesterday. Yesterday on our Valentine's Day journey, I was looking for a shortcut I was looking for a shortcut from the Albuquerque Art Museum to the Old Town, and I tripped on a route. I went down, and suddenly my nose was in the dirt, and every part of me was scraped up and in shock, and I had just picked this card in our like it's working your light card. It said get grounded. And so Rachmil said, "Oh, you really got grounded, didn't you? Didn't you?"
Not right away. After a little while.
So I sat there. I was a little bit in shock, having fallen, and I came home. I mean, we kind of still kept celebrating the day, but I came home, and I was really hurting, and and just scraped, bruised, and every part of my body was hurting from the fall, and Rachmil went right to sleep, and I stayed awake trying to figure out how to putting ice on and ibuprofen and different things to try to figure out how to fall asleep, and then my mind was just going into this kind of thing of oh my God, I'm gonna be in bed for a week. This is every part of my body is bruised from this fall. And so I had the little mind thing happening, but then I remembered, and actually was inspired by our app launch, by my own words, that said, I could raise the vibration here. And I thought healing happens when you raise the vibration. And so I lay in bed for, until about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just inside my head, I was singing hallelujahs, and with the intention of raising the vibration for healing to happen, and ignoring the all of the dire things that my mind was saying.
You just filled it with a hallelujah.
I just filled up my consciousness with hallelujah for a few hours, and then I finally fell asleep.
Yeah.
And I woke up feeling good. And I still have some bruises and stuff, but I woke up feeling good. And it was like, wow, I thought I'd be in bed for a week.
Yeah.
This practice really works. And someone tried it, and I tried it on everything. And I think that...
we did it at
yes.
the car wash. The hallelujah.
Oh yeah. The other thing Rachmil wanted us was the Shechianu moment was we sang hallelujah through a car wash.
Riding through the car wash.
Riding through a car wash. We thought, has this ever been done before?
I don't think so.
But Pesach at the launch reminded me to do the infar, to bring that to my hallelujah. The infar is those qualities that transform passing mental states into lasting neural traits of intensity, novelty, focus, awareness, and repetition. I had that in my mind, reminded by you, Pesach, and I felt like it filled up my whole consciousness. I was in hallelujah consciousness, even though my body was really hurting. So that was like a very interesting thing to be doing, and that I was still in Hallelujah consciousness. And I think it was the best thing I could have done.
Best medicine.
The best medicine. So I want to just briefly go back into that today's Hallelujah here.
Let it work the magic for you.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Very nice.
Hallelujah. So I want to also dedicate this KZOOM to a friend who died this morning. His name is Ida Unger, who,
I didn't hear
yeah, and she was a great teacher of embodied Judaism. And I want to honor her memory and let her memory be a blessing for us. She died this morning. So the text that we're being inspired by with this theme of letting go of the known and opening to mystery, the text that we receive has in it a question. And I love questions, and whenever there's a question in Torah, I always feel like I want to live with that question. I want it to live inside me. And so the question is, I'll give you the context. It says, "Daughters of Jerusalem," that's all of us, "swear to me by the gazelles, by the deer in the field, that you will not awaken love until it is ripe." And then comes the question, who is that rising from the wilderness? What is this mystery? Like a pillar of smoke, fragrant with myrrh and frankincense from the powders of the merchant. Like this, something amazing is happening, and I'm going to bring all of my curiosity and openness to it. And because, as Albert Einstein says, there's only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. So I'm choosing
everything.
The second door.
Yes.
That everything is a miracle. But I want to be in that state of, openness to the miraculous. And, the question is, who is that rising from the wilderness? What is it that is coming to me from the unknown? How do I meet that unknown moment? Brother David Steindl-Rast says that whatever life gives you, you can respond with joy. Joy is the happiness that does not depend on what happens. It is the grateful response to the opportunity that life offers you at this moment. So life is offering us something each moment that is rising from out of the unknown, and we want to meet that no matter what it is. I came across this teaching by Carl Jung today that kind of warned me that everything that comes up from the wilderness is not always pleasant. And he says there is no coming to consciousness without pain. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own soul. So he doesn't say facing their own pain. They say facing their own soul. He says one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. By making the darkness conscious. So whatever it is, to be able to feel what I'm feeling, and bring a kind of a radiance to that darkness, and even in the pain, to have that hallelujah consciousness. So that's an attitude. It's like it's a stance towards the mystery, towards the unknown, and instead of saying "uh-oh," we're saying "oh." The same word, the same words with a different attitude, really. Like with an attitude of curiosity and a kind of a confidence that I want to meet this moment, whatever life gives me, so Zot Olah, who is that? What is that rising? And I think we can kind of join together in, opening to the mystery. And I'm thinking about that moment when I fell. I was like, one moment I'm like walking along, the next moment I'm like my nose is in the dirt, and I'm like, oh.
You never know.
You just never know. How will I meet this moment? How do I meet that moment with joy? So let's sit in the question together. Zot Olah, min-hamidbar, min-hamidbar, min-hamidbar. Zot Olah, min-hamidbar, min-hamidbar, min-hamidbar. with your eyes closed, just to check into your attitude, your stance, your readiness to meet whatever life gives you with joy, with a grateful response to the opportunity that you're being offered at this moment. So, with a commitment to feel whatever you're feeling to the fullest. And let it bring you into presence. So I think that this commitment to meeting the moment is a commitment to what is called in the Psalms the El Chai, the living God, not the God of my ancestors, not the God that I've thought about before, but something that is rising from the wilderness right now. I want to do this practice in encountering the living God. And there is this kind of a place in me that just says, I don't want to settle for less. I don't want to settle for something stale or for an idea, a conception, or sometimes the way Joseph Goldstein says, don't settle for yesterday's manna. Like there's something happening right now that you want to be able to receive. And that's really what the thirst of the soul is for, that immediacy, that encounter. Hazrat Inayat Khan said, the mind is the surface of the heart, and the heart is the depth of the mind. The mind is the surface of the heart, and the heart is the depth of the mind. So my colleague and friend and teacher, Sarah Rain, who is a sheikh in the Sufi tradition, says we aim to develop a clear awareness of the mind and heart through mysticism, which is the direct experience of self, soul, and the infinite. So we're looking for the direct experience, and the idea is to not settle for somebody else's experiences or a story about experience, but to have that direct experience. And the story about it is not enough. So and I think that opening up that place of what I truly long for is to meet the beloved right in this very moment. So I want to draw on that as I chant. And there's something when I'm chanting that I want to take each sound of the sound of the words, really kind of imagine that the consonants are like the borders, the boundaries of the sound, and I want to make those consonants really crisp and clear, so that the vowels, which is the energy that is moving through them, really kind of has a channel through which to go. So as you're saying Tzam'ah Nafshi l'Elohim l'El Chai, and just to feel that the infar, the intensity of the focus that we bring to it, the awareness of that longing in us for direct experience, that's what I thirst for, and I won't settle for less than that. So ready? You ready to express that? Tzam'ah Nafshi L'Elohim Elohai. 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 Tzam'ah Tzam'ah Nafshi L'Elohim El Chai. 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 So keep your eyes closed. Bring your attention to the breath. Breathe into the heart and find there that thirsts for the living God. And I feel it as that fierce love and commitment to meeting the unknown and living with questions, not settling for answers. So my commitment is to live from my love and not my fear. But my fear sometimes arises, and then I have to have a kind of a strategy, a pathway. And in the moment of fear, it feels like this, the gesture of surrender is being what's called from me. That I am surrendering my little self, who's overwhelmed by the circumstances, and I'm surrendering that, and I'm saying to that great mystery, I'm saying, into your hands, I am entrusting my spirit. And it's a choice in that moment, and it's a realization that I'm not going to control this life, and that giving myself into God's hands, or into that embrace, really, is the only pathway open to me. So I want to sing these three words that biyadacha, afkid, ruchi, into your hands. I entrust my spirit. And I think these are also words that are that Jesus called on this psalm at his moment of crisis as well, a moment when fear might have arisen for him. So I wanted to give you first this teaching by Dan Millman. Now, Dan Millman is the one who wrote The Spiritual Warrior.
Yeah,
right? The Path of the
Warrior. He was the
Path of
Olympic
the
gold
Warrior.
medal gymnast, and he had a mentor he called, I forget, Dan Millman.
Dan Millman.
The Way of the Peaceful Warrior.
The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. PCR. So he says, so trust the process of your life unfolding, and know with certainty, through the peaks and valleys of your journey, that your soul rests safe and secure in the arms of God. I'll say that again. So trust the process of your life unfolding, and know with certainty, through the peaks and valleys of your journey, that your soul rests safe and secure in the arms of God. So, I think about this with the Christian Sundberg kind of way of looking at it, of like saying, like, I'm on this dangerous journey, but my soul is safe and like resting in the arms of God, and I am kind of on an adventure here, and in that moment that I come face to face with my own fear, which could mean paralysis, really, is what fear does for me. That's when I'm being called to surrender to be able to rest in those arms. So it's a moment-to-moment practice here of surrender. And I love the English word surrender. I love the English because it comes from the Latin that means render is to give, and the sur is what is higher. So to give over to what is higher, really. Surrender. It's it's not it's not failing. It's not losing. It's giving over the small self to the larger reality, to the big self place. So I'll ask you as we chant this to find that place in you that might still kind of be trembling in fear, and to know to sort of establish a doorway of surrender at that moment of fear, at that crossroads. We'll plant this possibility of surrender in that moment. afkid ruchi biyadcha 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 afkid ruchi afkid ruchi biyadcha 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 afkid ruchi biyadecha 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 afkid biyadecha afkid ruchi biyadecha afkid ruchi biyadecha afkid afkid ruchi biyadecha afkid ruchi biyadecha afkid ruchi biyadecha afkid ruchi. And once more, giving it your all. Biyadecha afkid ruchi 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 biyadecha afkid ruchi. As you keep your eyes closed and bring your attention to the breath. Let the in-breath be what is rising from the unknown into us. And let the out-breath be our response of surrendering to what is. So the in-breath, we receive that wilderness into us. And on the out-breath, we surrender the small self. Again, we open to what life gives us. The exhale, we surrender our illusion of control and give ourselves to what is. And we are surrendering, giving over to what is higher. And it is a daring move. And we might want to just open our eyes now and look around the KZOOM room and see how much support we have to be that daring, to have that courage.
You know, I can do it with you all, with all y'all in
All
my
y'all?
community. All
All
y'all.
y'all?
I can do it with your support. I got you.
So this, I think what helps me is a sense of curiosity, a joyful curiosity of like, whoa, what's going to happen? What's going to happen next? And then I can say, how will I meet whatever it is, whatever this moment brings? How will I meet it? And we have resources. We have amazing resources. And you know, the sacred texts that we've inherited are also kind of doorways into that place of resource. So I want to do one last practice, and it's called inviting our future selves. And it's a way of calling on our potential, really. And this practice kind of was rooted in an experience that I had when I was in my early 20s, and I was really having a hard time. And I was very stuck and depressed. And I had a vision, and the vision was of my future self, who came to me, and she looked really old, like kind of like this. She looked old to me, and she had a quality of presence that made me feel like everything was going to be okay. I knew that she was me in the future, and that somehow I would survive.
You were looking pretty good in that future self.
Old. But
Yes.
but it was a turning point for me in my sense of possibility, and in clearing away some of my blockages and despair, to have that visitation from my future self. And then I think what clenched it for me was that I realized if my future self could come to me, then I could come to my past self. So I did a series of kind of like visions for myself, where in my 20s that I went and visited myself as a young child at times when I had felt abandoned or alone. And so that kind of empowered me to change the past. I mean, what's time, for God's sakes? You know, what's time?
In the quantum world, yeah.
So I feel like I changed the past, and then the present was changed because of it. So there's all kinds of wonderful permutations. But so when I came across this Psalm 39, that said Hodiyani Yah kitzi, I felt like it was saying, show me it says literally my end, but I think of it as show me who I am becoming. Umidat yamai mahi. The words are just so beautiful. Umidat yamai mahi. And what is the measure of my days? What are the qualities, the midot, that I need to align myself with? I found this teaching from Giulio Consiglio that says when you are in alignment with your authentic self, nothing is impossible. So that kind of alignment with the midot, the qualities that are really who I am, when I align myself with those, then I can manifest that, what the future self is bringing me, that potential. So what I like to do is I chant this chant with all my heart, and in the silence afterwards I send an invitation out for my future self to come and give me a vision, sort of in a vision. And I particularly look for that. What are the qualities that my future self has that I have not yet mastered? Really, what is she like in a way that I'm not there yet, and I can be inspired by that vision. So let's try these beautiful words. Hodiyani Yah, kitzi, yamai, Hodiyani Yah, kitzi, yamai, Hodiyani Yah, kitzi, yamai, Hodiyani Yah, kitzi, yamai, Hodiyani Yah, kitzi, umidat yamai lahi Hodiyani Yah kitzi umidat yamai 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 Close your eyes, bring your attention to the breath. Breathe into the heart, and with the next breath, send out an invitation to your future self to come, bring you a vision, allow that future self to come to you. You might notice a quality. And just tune in to that quality that future self embodies. Let yourself be inspired by it, become hopeful, encouraged. And if your future self has a message for you, you want to just open up to receive that message. And when you're ready, you can send the future self back to the future. And just hold it in what you received from them. So, we will have an opportunity, if you feel so inspired, to share what that vision is with in a small group if you want to, and if you're leaving, find somebody else to share it with it or write about it so that you can just can hold on to what that vision was. And I invite you to stop by the website, give a donation in honor of what you have received, and see what's coming up in the future. And we're going to be here next week for KZOOM.
Yep.
And so
not the following week, but next week we'll be here.